Recording in progress.
Hello, and welcome to the Let's Podcast Show, the show that is rated R for real and not PG for playing games. I am one of your hosts, the Boss Lady.
And I am the D.O.C. making it do what it do.
So continue to join us for our weekly conversations about life, culture, and everything else. As we always say, get to know us, get to love us. This episode of the podcast is sponsored by Cigar Junkies as well as CJS Educational Services. Continue to get up with us, continue to buy that merch. And at this time, gonna pause. How you doing?
Man, this has been an amazing weekend. I mean, I had a great Saturday. Went to an awesome party on Saturday. And then Sunday, we had they had a citywide R&B old school picnic out at the beach.
Yes.
Cigar Junkies was in the house as a vendor. Because of the weather, we sold out damn near all of our hoodies. So it was a great day. Thank you everyone that supported the hoodies, supported Cigar Junkies. It was a great day. Shout out to everybody that came and supported in person. My girl V, my girl Ray Shay, my sister Denisha, my homeboy JB, Janine. All those folks came out and supported and helped us with the vending. So I appreciate y'all, man. And all the people that supported and got the book. The book came. So as you folks knew, I've been working on the book. And the book is finally finished. And we're going to talk about later. We're going to do a episode just on the book. But here it is. Gangsta and the Gentleman, the realest shit I ever wrote. It's out. You can pre-order it on Amazon.com. Or you can contact us and we can talk about that as well.
Shipping is cheaper, obviously, when you go through Amazon.
Yeah. I know some people are protesting against Amazon. So whatever. If you want the book mailed to you, let me know and we can get it. But yeah, so I'm excited. But I'm excited for the guests we got coming on, so I don't want to delay that. Yes. This is our 51st episode. Yes. So thank you folks for riding with us. This is number 51.
Season 5.
Season 5. This is episode 51. We 50 deep in. I never even thought it would be going this long. I'm gonna keep it real. So it's been a great journey with the Boss Lady. So this is season 5. So we about to kick it off. We're gonna be bringing more guests. So I'm excited about that. But without further delay, let's do this.
Yes. And let us bring our guests in, and we're gonna go from there. So.
Here we go.
All right, folks. So I haven't done an introduction for you yet. So before we go any further, I am going to just say that I am introducing Mr. Rod, cigar enthusiastic, cigar extraordinaire, dope gentleman. I'm going to stop right there, and then I'm going to let Jimmy say something. Then I'm going to let you introduce your own self and give us a little background of who you are before we get started.
Well, Rod is big, bro. You know, I know Rod. Shit, I've known Rod for 25 plus years, easy. For folks y'all know I'm big into cigars, but Rod is the guy. Tim, his good friend Tim, my college roommate, introduced me to cigars, but Rod is the guy that actually educated me on the lifestyle that goes into this thing that we call cigars. Yes. And it encompasses everything. Like Rob would always tell you, what you wear, what you eat, what you drink, all of that goes into it. And so, man, I just want to appreciate, I just send a big shout out, give him his flowers right here for introducing me to this lifestyle. So that's my real connection to Big Bro. So he gives a lot of good advice on a lot of things. And without further ado, man, let's give it up for Rod. And let him give his introduction. Go ahead.
Yes. Good afternoon.
First, I appreciate that introduction you gave me.
Yeah.
That dope. I appreciate that. I like that on you, baby.
No doubt.
Jimmy, man. Right on.
No doubt.
The big thing that you mentioned that I focus on is the cigar lifestyle.
Yeah.
We've known each other back 26 years, but I've been smoking cigars for maybe about 30, almost 35 years.
Damn.
In that time, I've been involved in the aspect of the industry, from having a cigar shop with a good friend of mine to going to the cigar producing countries like Honduras, even Nicaragua.
Yeah.
It's more than just, when I say cigars are a lifestyle, it's all about appreciating everything that goes into the cigar you like.
No doubt.
I'm not about turning you on to what I smoke, because what I like, you may not like.
Yep.
You know, there's people that like flavors. I don't like flavors.
Yep.
But I'm not going to turn it down. I'm not going to talk bad about it because that's what you like. And that's what the lifestyle is. It's embracing everybody that appreciates what goes on into that lifestyle and into that cigar.
Yep.
So when we sit down, we talk about scotch and whiskey and bourbon. I'm also going to be able to talk about wine. I don't drink wine like that, but I can pair that cigar up with the wine.
Yeah. So this is the guy that introduced me to the liquor. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. That's what the lifestyle is. And again, you know, we started off with the whiskey. You know, you drink Belvini. You love Belvini.
Yep.
I did too, but then I went back to Open.
Yep. You put me on that. Yep. And that's just way back. Yep.
It's some right over there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So I got that from Rod. You know what I'm saying?
Anything you recommend will end up on our bar.
Exactly.
So, just FYI.
And I got a question. What was the first, if you remember, what was the first time you smoked? What was the first cigar that you smoked?
Oh, yeah. College, sophomore year.
Oh, wow.
I got my ass handed to me playing poker. And the dude, I had that little Swisher Sweet, the Walgreens band with the... Yeah,
I remember that.
You know, I thought I was Big Willie back then. You know, I'm a sophomore in college. I'm 18, 19 years old. I'm thinking I'm doing something. This dude was a graduate student. He came into the game and cleared me out $500.
Damn.
Gave me a real cigar. He said it was a conciliatory prize. Basically rubbing my nose into his head, take your ass home, scrub. You know, he gave me the cigar and said, hey, I tried it, and then I realized I wasn't doing anything.
Okay.
I was at 500, but that cigar gave me an introduction to what I know now and what I'm experiencing now.
Okay.
I think it was he said it was a Cuban, that it was a Romeo and Juliet Cuban.
Okay.
I didn't know anything. I didn't know enough about cigars to say if it was real or not.
Yeah.
I just knew that Swisher Sweet, I didn't smoke anymore.
So that was
the fact that you smoking a Swisher Sweet. But back then, that's what they used to smoke.
I know people that used to smoke them like that.
Now it's like, you'll cringe. You see somebody just grab a Swisher Sweet and just light it like a cigar. I would cringe if I saw that.
But like you said, it's for whatever your palate is. Yeah.
That's true.
You know what? I used to cringe until recently, like maybe past 2-3 years.
Okay.
I used to cringe when people would smoke that. I go back to it because it's like people slice it up with weed and then they roll it up and they smoking a blunt.
Yeah.
That's when I cringed when they did that. I stopped hanging around that group. And I'm going around people now that smoke it. And I'm realizing that they want a flavor.
Yeah.
And they're only finding that flavor in that particular cigar that they're smoking.
Okay.
That's true.
That's true.
So I'm not cringing anymore because you're still enjoying a cigar and it's what you like.
True.
Okay.
But if I see you slice it and put something else in it, then you got to go. All of this came from what I'm thinking, what I think now, and what I'm not even going to say no, because I'm still learning. What I'm finding and thinking now came from having the shop.
Okay.
So many walks of people came into that shop. You know, as a shop owner, you start thinking, all right, I need to make this money, I need to make that money, then I got to pay this, and I'm going to bring that in. When people came in, my focus was to find out what you're smoking.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever listen to me when I talk to somebody new, the first thing I'm going to ask them is what they're smoking. That gauges that person right there in that moment to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not a money set. It's the smoking aspect of it. All right, I see you like flavors. Okay, I got something for you. I'm not going to tell you on the Drew Estates. That's infused.
Mm-hmm.
That's something different. Or maybe a Tatiana.
Yeah.
And maybe a CAO. There's going to be a different flavor profile that's going to introduce you to that cigar. Oh man, you like full body.
Yeah.
Okay, so I see you smoking La Flor Dominicana.
Mm-hmm.
But your palate is so robust that you're going up and down on the scale from medium to full to even light.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I got to get you something that I know at that moment what you're smoking. I'm going to fix in there and say, okay, I got to assess this guy. I know how he smokes. I know what his palate is. So when you talk about somebody coming in with a sweet tip cigar or a flavored cigar, I'm not going to knock that because you're smoking what you like.
No doubt.
You know, back in the day, like I said, if you're slicing it, you gone. We don't play that here. I don't care if it's legal or not. We don't play that
here. All right, let's get into this show, man.
So I have a couple of hot topics that I want your input on. And so, as you know, we try to give people a 3-course meal. We always start off with our appetizer, our hot topic. And so I had a few hot topics that I really want your opinion on. And the first one, I'm going to throw this out there because the D.O.C. talked about this, but I would love to get your quick summary to answer this question. And that is the Pope black in your opinion? Is he any part black in your opinion?
Or a person of color?
It's only a hot topic because he's denying that he's black.
Yeah.
That's why it's a hot topic.
Yep.
He's denying he's black.
True.
Bro grew up in Chicago. He was born in Mercy Hospital.
Come on now.
His mom and daddy were light-skinned, so they could pass.
Yeah.
I think he only ended up in Mercy Hospital because the contractions were so quick.
Yeah.
That they maybe was about to be born.
Mm-hmm.
They go back and move to Dalton, which is now one of the blackest cities in the area. But he lived in there. You're beyond integration. You cannot deny your past history, especially when it's documented as it is.
That's the other thing.
You say, well, I don't identify as being black.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on. Don't tell me how you identify. That's like saying I identify as a cat. He's a black man. He's a light-skinned black man.
No doubt.
Hey, I know because my grandfather was very, 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 very light.
Yeah, if you see your dad, your granddad, I thought he would be a white dude.
Dad's side, and you see my uncle, a couple of my uncles, you see my grandpa, you would be like, oh my, they definitely mix with something. They are very, very light.
Like, he probably could pass back in the day. I'm sure he could.
I'm pretty sure my grandfather could have passed. He could have went either way if he wanted to go.
Yeah.
So, okay. I just had to officially, huh? I had to
talk about what family. Y'all saw Michelle. I have a cousin that's lighter than Michelle.
Okay. Wow.
Lighter than Michelle, like almost damn near white. And when you talk to her, you wouldn't know that that's the face that's her voice. That's because she's so fair. She's just so fair skinned. That's all it is.
Yeah, and I see a lot of that down in New Orleans.
Knows that she can't be in the sun too long, then she burn.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. I kind of had that problem sometimes too. I get sunburned way quicker than I would like to get. Mm-hmm. I ain't gonna even lie. All right, next hot topic. So this has been going on forever since you've been watching sports, but lately it has kind of came back up, like NFL players, NBA players catching heat for dating white women, marrying white women, and there was one particular comment that Paul Pierce had made, and he was just pretty much saying, like, black women ain't really what it to be, get you a white girl, kind of. So what is your opinion on athletes that are black, and then they go and date white women and stuff like that?
Well, what you got to say what Paul Pierce said?
Well, because he said that black women are combative, they're confrontational. He said that they're unapologetic.
They're argumentative.
Argumentative, and that is why he chooses not to really deal with black women.
No, he said that why athletes choose not to deal with.
Well, yeah, but him too, because he.
I'm just saying that's what
he's white too.
But he's saying that's why athletes.
But yes, essentially yes, athletes particularly go to white women and other women besides that because this is the label of black women: this combative, this confrontational, unapologetic, all of the above. So, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think it's true? How about start with this? Do you think it's true?
I'm going to agree with Paul Pierce on here. They are combative.
See?
Very, very combative. See? I mean, it's like y'all ready to go to war over some trivial trifling ass shit.
Say it again. Say it again, bro.
Wait, what are we doing right now?
You know what, Ryan? I'm gonna cut you off. I'm about to cut you off right now.
Keep it real. We keep it real here.
Be on your side on this one. Why y'all ready to fight?
Over the
what are you going to war for?
You know what? I don't even think it's a ready to fight. I just think that I know for me, sometimes I may not even realize that I'm that intense with something. I'm just being honest. Sometimes I just don't realize that my emotion or my look is conveying intensity like that.
Your name is the boss lady. That implies intensity.
Sometimes I'm just caught in the moment. Sometimes it just happens that way.
She caught in the moment. That's all the time.
Again, I don't think that I'm always combative. See, I think part of the thing is that I don't even know if there is even a spectrum of what combative looks like or what that is.
Spectrum.
I'm saying a spectrum because you could be like very like on the least end of combative, and then you could just always be combative. I don't think I'm on the strong end of combative. But yeah, I talk shit. That's just me. I talk shit.
So far, you're providing an answer, but haven't answered the question I asked. What are you fighting about?
Nothing.
You basically, what I'm getting out of this is that you're using past experience to justify your current fight.
No. See, I can't speak for all women.
Past experience to justify you ready to fight right now.
No, generally it's my present experience. It's what I'm going through.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
It's what I'm
okay, so what present experience? If it's a present experience, then you need to get out of that experience.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know. I don't know.
You bring it baggage. You're bringing baggage.
Yeah.
Sure.
And you know, my son's out there dating. He's a young man, about 24. And that's the one thing he said, because he dates outside. He dates all type of women. And
yeah, he does.
Like he said, he does. But he tells me that the reason why he ain't with them because they be always want to argue. I'm gonna tell you, when I had a male, remember I had the male mentoring group. This is the truth. I had like 25 guys in this group, and we would meet on a bi-weekly basis. They were between the ages of 14 to 18, and we were doing the autobiography of Malcolm X. That was like the text that we were doing, like a book club. And we got to the chapter, of course, Malcolm X dates the white women. So in the course of our discussion, we talked about interracial dating. So we polled and asked how many of the guys they currently were dating, how many of them were dating outside their race or date black. Only 5 of them dated a black girl at the high school that they attended. Only 5. And I asked them why. And remember, and all the guys in my group, every last one of them is going to college. And so that's just like, damn. So they don't see their future with black. And they said the main reason is because they always want to fucking argue and fight. Like, and then they want to publicly do this shit. And and they just like the other girls, the Latino girls, the white girls.
Now, hold on.
They're not doing that.
Please do not exempt all other races.
I'm not saying that,
because
but I'm just
all
saying.
Women are combative just by nature. I'm being
I
to a certain extent. I think everybody is combative, male or female. Everybody can be combative. I think everybody is combative to a certain extent.
I don't know.
But I don't think my only thing is that yes, I do agree. Black women can come off as being combative. They are ready for war. They're ready to prove something. Some women are very ready to prove something, prove that they are strong, prove that they can handle it.
But like you just said, for the most trivial things. Say that again, Rod.
Why do you feel that you have to prove that to
because
anybody?
I think we've been conditioned.
Agree with me in this. We don't have anything to prove.
I think we are conditioned that way to not appear to be weak, to not appear to be feeble. I think that part of being a black woman is being a strong black woman. I think that that adjective strong has always been thrown in the mix when it comes to describing what a black woman should be. And so I know for me, I am going to be that way because yes, I am a strong black woman and that's what I'm supposed to exhibit. That's the way that is the way that you have almost been conditioned to a certain extent.
Extreme feminism.
I wouldn't say extreme feminism. I think for some, you have to think about it this way. some women may not have certain situations where they can even be allowed to not be combative or not be strong. They have to be strong for their situation. I'm not saying all women like that, but some women are like that because of that. But I do agree. At the end of the day, I agree. Yes, black women can come off as being more combative.
So
why?
I'll agree with you, Adi. I'll agree with you when you say that we have to be strong. But y'all don't have to flex every damn time.
Say it again.
That's different. I don't know why.
Like he's saying, they keep it always flexing on the most trivial things.
I don't know why the need to flex is there. Again, I don't know if the whole strong thing funnels into you trying to prove a point. I know for me, I'm always just like, I can do it. I can do it all. Let me prove that I can do it. Let me do it all. I've always been like, just kind of let me do it all type person.
Even though you got a partner that's there with you step and willing, you still take on that. That doesn't make sense.
I didn't say it made sense. I just said that I never said that it made sense. And sometimes, and I will admit, because sometimes he has to remind me, like, I could have done that, or all you have to do is just ask me to do that. And I'll be like, well, I figured if I can do it myself, just do it myself. And again, being you get custom, you just get kind of programmed to just be that way. Not saying it's the right way to be. I think we should be a little bit more submissive when it comes to some things, or just listening and following and things of that nature, and being able to compliment the man versus compete with the man. And I think sometimes women don't know the difference between the two. Again, like I said, sometimes I don't realize that I am that intense until I'm told that I'm that intense. Like, sometimes I'm just thinking I'm just freely doing what I'm doing. Not that intense at all.
Let me ask you this. When you're told that you've been intense, do you take offense to it?
It depends.
Yes, he does.
Let me answer. He didn't ask you. He asked me.
Someone is telling you how your reaction or your behavior is making them feel. So if you're intense and they feel a certain way about that intensity, and they're telling you, and then you end up getting offended, why are we still talking? You won't even take something from me telling you that your intensity is off-putting.
Well, hell, I don't think you're going to be able to date no women.
I'm not saying that it's off-putting in a bad way. It just comes off in a certain way where I'm like, oh, wait, where's this coming from?
Okay, so this kind of goes into my next question, because based on what you just said, you're going to exclude a lot of women from your dating pool, because there are a lot of women who are going to take offense if you try to critique or say that they are being combative, confrontational. Now, I do want to pause for a hot second. What do y'all mean when y'all say confrontational? As a black man describing black women, and if the story is that we're combative, we already talked about the combative part. But what is confrontational? What do y'all consider confrontational? When y'all say that, or when it's said that a black woman is confrontational, what the hell does that mean? In very layman's terms, what does that mean?
I mean, an example. You know what? I always used to use this. That your grandmother did this at the very beginning of our relationship. This was like almost 25 years ago, and she came to visit. I'm about to tell you the story, and I always remember I was getting ready to go somewhere, and I was leaving. I said, "Yeah, I'm going here, blah 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 blah, and I'll be back at this time." And then you said, "So why you going over there? What you doing? What time you gonna be back?" And your grandmama checked you. She says, "Hold on, what are you doing? He told you he was coming back at this time. Why are you asking this man all these questions and this and this and that? He said he was doing this. He said he'd be back then." Y'all girls just create problems for no reason. I remember she said that. She said, you just create problems with no reason. Now, she said now the nigga gonna leave, and now he gonna be gone all night on purpose.
So that's being confrontational.
That's being confrontational for absolutely no reason.
Okay, Rod, you got an example of confrontational?
That's one.
I'm going to piggyback off of what he was saying. I was in, I wasn't even in a relationship. I was actually trying to talk to someone, and the expression was, all men are dogs. And this was back in the 90s, late 80s, early 90s, that pro-black era.
Yeah.
And I looked at it and I said, if all men are dogs, what does that make you that lays down the dog? And she stopped and looked at me like she was waiting for me to answer it, give my own answer. And I said, yeah, it makes you a bitch. She was ready to swing it. I was like, hold on. I'm piggybacking off of what you just said.
Man.
You said all men are dogs.
Yeah.
What dog lays down with another dog? We call that a bitch. You can't get mad at me. This is your own argument.
Say it again.
I probably talk on you too.
I said, time out. We're talking. Now all of a sudden, I'm the motherfucker. I'm this. I'm that. Okay. I gave you an answer to your question.
That's a good one. I will use that one.
Like the way I answered it.
Yeah.
So I guess it's not what I say, it's how I say it, right?
Okay.
That's combative.
Yeah. I hate when women.
At you, the way I answer your question changes your demeanor, just like that. Time out. That means that we can't be in a situation where you can calmly respond to something without flipping the switch.
Say it again.
Now, if we get into a private part and you flip the switch, cool. Because I'm used to that. I know to expect that from you. But if we're in the beginning stage, not even the beginning stage, it's just a random conversation, then you just like that. I can't deal with that because that means that you don't know when to respond at a certain time. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying there's a wrong time or a right time, but there are times when you know that type of response is not acceptable. Yeah. So it's like you gotta figure a way not to be so combative, but still ready to answer right. You know, like I said, it's not what you say; it's how you say it.
That's true. I say that all the time.
Yeah.
So with that being said, okay, last one, unapologetic. Do y'all really believe that black women are unapologetic? Because I do try to say sorry when I...
We ain't talking about you. This is the collective group.
Black women don't say sorry enough.
Man, but y'all off the chain, G. Y'all just,
black women do say they're sorry.
Yeah.
They do apologize. They are apologetic.
Yeah.
Okay.
They are.
We get 1 out of 3.
I'm not saying that they... are the least approachable group. That's not true.
Yeah.
That's not even fair. Because I know the history that's involved with the black women and why some of them are the way they are.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them that don't need to be that way.
Say that again.
That is true.
Y'all, like I said, we go back to what I said. Y'all just ready to fight at the drop of the hat.
Has that been a deterrent, like going out here trying to date, talk to women? Has that been a deterrent for you? Like, has it made it to the point where you're thinking about like going maybe outside the race? Has that been a big deterrent with you trying to approach black women, knowing that that's how they are with their approach?
I'm gonna use your side over here. It's not that I'm thinking about going out the race. It's that we're outnumbered. Black men are. And when I say black men are, I mean heterosexual black men. I don't mean the DL. I don't mean, I'm thinking of straight dudes that know what they want and it's straight ones.
Yeah, no doubt.
Black men are outnumbered.
No doubt.
I agree.
Okay, so with that in mind, we have a very expansive selection, I could say. That's the wrong word, but we have a very expansive area that we can go. We got the race that we can choose from.
Yeah.
And as black men, we're probably the most exotic, if you will, and appealing to all of the other races.
Yeah.
True.
So it's always going to be to say, hey, I'm with this guy or I'm with that guy. That's the option is there, yeah.
No doubt.
Is it a choice? Yeah, it ends up being a choice. But for me right now, it's trying to figure out what I'm doing next.
Yeah. I know that was like that for me in college. Shit, I realized that quick that black guys had it good on a college campus. You could literally, like you said, the whole playing field. And I know I took advantage of it. So, I'm just saying.
No, because if we get college is totally different. College is a totally different experience.
Yeah.
You've never experienced anything like what you experienced in college.
No doubt.
So true. on so many different fronts.
College is a first for everything. You got the first time your freedom. You got the first time you can stay up late. First time you got anything.
Yeah.
A black man on college is so random.
Yeah.
That everybody's interested in him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he can go to the black Greek life and be part of the party.
Mm-hmm.
Or he can go to white Greek life and be the party.
Mm-hmm.
What's he going to do?
Mm-hmm.
He going to go to white Greek life where he can just stand out and everybody's at his attention.
Mm-hmm.
And he got his chip Higgins from all the sororities.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's black or white, it don't matter.
You ain't lying.
Because he's such an exotic treasure.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody had a black college, man, bro, get lost in the sea.
Hey, I done seen it. Yeah, I done seen it. Literally. Nigga, put on your swimsuit. Yep.
Lord. So you're an empty nester now, right? Technically? Technically. How is that? From the male point of view.
Say it again.
How has it been being an empty nester from the male's point of view? You're an empty nester now.
I don't know where empty nester is. I got the minions and some push pops that live in the house with me right now. push pops is my name for grandchildren.
Yeah.
I'm Pop.
Yeah. Okay.
Push pop.
As you say, I'm too dope to be grandpa.
How many grandkids you got, Rob? How many grandkids you got?
Nah.
Yeah, think about it.
6. Damn.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I thought you had 4. He's 6. Okay.
Yeah. I got 6. I got 2 daughters. Each have 3.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Papa. So one of the last questions I really wanted to just ask you, just as honest, because it's a lot of what I'm starting to see now when I go to these cigar lounges and even, just going out, there are a lot of single older men. And I'm not trying to be funny, but a lot of single older men. So just how is it out here in this world trying to date as an older man now, with everything changing from how it looked back in the 80s and 90s with you dating to how it looks now?
I say seasoned, not old.
How has the journey been so far?
It's a journey of like-minded individuals, if you will, people that smoke cigar. It wouldn't matter if you're single or married, because the industry is poorly represented by women.
Mm-hmm.
There are women that do smoke cigars, but they don't go to the lounges.
Yeah.
And when we had the shop, that was what we were trying to change. We were trying to make the lounge to be more comfortable. Lounges still have that sports bar feel.
Mm-hmm.
Now it feels like you go to a sports bar that you can smoke cigar.
Mm.
We wanted to open up a more relaxing and inviting feel. And if next time you go to any cigar, pay attention to the lighting. Remember our cigar shop? We were bright.
Very bright. Yeah, I remember that with white furniture.
Everybody else is dark.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
That's a good question. Why?
We wanted open. We wanted it open. We wanted it engaging. Bright light makes it more engaging.
Mm-hmm.
When you walk into a well-lit building or a well-lit store, you're relaxed.
Yeah. It feels safe.
You see everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The darker it is, it's not somber. Somber is not the word I want to use. It's more subdued.
Yeah.
It's toned down and everybody just slows things down.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't care about the pace of it. We just wanted the energy. And the bright light brings the energy.
Mm-hmm. I didn't think of that. That's a good point.
It's more inviting than any other places because women who came in, they were more comfortable walking in because we had more lighting. They could see.
It looks safe.
See who's where.
Yeah.
Dark lighting, you squinting sometimes and poking around like, oh yeah, I see you over there. Bright light, you walk in, you're right there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If we could get that feeling, convey that same feeling to all the cigar shops, I believe more women would come.
Mm.
Because I know a lot of smokers. I do. I know a lot of cigar smokers. And I just wish that more shops would be more inviting, raise the lighting up just a little bit so people can feel in there. As far as my experience going in there as a single man, I don't go to a lounge for anything but to smoke a cigar.
Mm-hmm.
To enjoy myself while I'm smoking a cigar. Drink some whiskey, drink some bourbon, have some good conversation, and then that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I see a woman that's in there and she's by herself, I'm gonna talk to her. I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna talk to her. Let's try anyway. and I gotta say this. I always say this. One of the things I've learned throughout the years was that there was never the sexiest thing I have ever seen is a woman smoking a cigar.
Yeah, ain't it, fam?
That is the sexiest motherfucking thing I've seen in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what she's dressed, how she's dressed. She got that cigar and she's relaxed. Man, right there, I'm gonna have a conversation with you. We're gonna be talking all day.
Mm-hmm.
And if she has a bottle, I don't care how big the bottle, she has some whiskey on the side with her. Oh yeah.
He said that's a winner there. That's a winner there.
Yeah, that's definitely a winner.
You know what? Man, I was just telling the boss lady, one thing I've been noticing is, when we go out more, is how many women are enjoying, whiskey, enjoying scotch and bourbon.
All the
like I was just in the store, and
we was at Burn, and these women order old fashioned.
And these were young girls. Yeah. We talking about under their 30s, so it's just amazing how the shift or what have you, and their palates are changing. They in there smoking, big boy cigars. They understand it, so it's just really cool to see the shift, especially with. This is like within the past 10 to 15 years. Yeah. It's been a major shift.
It is. It is good to see women getting into sticks.
Shit, my biggest supporters are women.
Because I know when I first started smoking sticks, it wasn't a lot of women.
In the past 5 years, that shift has happened in the past 5 years.
Yeah.
A lot more women I'm noticing are coming in to learn more about the cigar industry.
Mm-hmm.
Not as a seller or to open up a shop, but they want to know what goes into that process.
Mm-hmm.
What makes a cigar what it is.
Yep.
And there was a couple of reps, a couple of owners. They say they don't want to talk to people. They hear people say they go through all this over explaining the aspect of a cigar. When someone, all they just prove is they just want to go in there and grab whatever's on the shelf.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I get that. But I'm going back to the shop. That takes away from the lifestyle. That takes away from what you should be doing, or not doing, but what you should be enjoying as a cigar smoker. Mm-hmm. You should know why you like that cigar.
Yeah,
that is true.
You should know more about its good flavor.
That is
true.
true.
You should be able to tell me something about it. Mm-hmm. I'm not testing you, but no. And again, back to your question, and there's an older gentleman going into a lounge. I'm just going there to have a good time and have a good smoke. As a matter of fact, yesterday there was a small group that came in a shop, and it was one of them. I got up, and then her boyfriend walked in, and I turned around.
Smooth pivot.
Yeah, I was like, right on, man. Turn around.
He said, I was about to get her.
So let me ask you this: what is in the future for Rod? What does Rod have planned for the future?
You know what? I should be ready to answer that. Growing old, to watching my grandchildren have grandchildren.
No doubt.
I'm going back to, it's a personal thing for me. 55 years old, and half the people that I went to school with are now in the grave.
Yeah.
I reflect on that as being that my generation has not lived to see the fruits of their labor.
Yeah.
As parents, those are your children.
Mm-hmm.
Your legacy will be your grandchildren.
Yeah.
Because your legacy continues through your children.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Your children will be giving and extending the legacy of what they are through you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I want to see. My uncle lived to be 96.
Damn. Wow, that's great.
I have some other family members that, lived almost to be 100.
Okay.
And they had great-grandchildren that remembered them.
Mm.
That's what I want for my future.
Yeah.
I love it.
As far as today, right now, finish with this. I'll start this one.
That's what I'm talking about.
The game is on tonight. No, there's a baseball game just now.
Yeah.
I'll grab a bottle and we go head up to the shop.
No doubt, no doubt.
Well, I definitely don't want you to go anywhere until you help us with our fair or foul. So fair or foul is like the last portion of our show. I give you just some quick topics. If you like it or if you agree with it, it's fair. And if you don't, it's foul. And you can briefly tell why. So I'm just going to riddle off some. Dating women in their 30s, is that a fair or is that a foul?
Wow.
Why?
I got children my daughters are in their 30s.
Okay. Okay.
Wow.
So let me ask you this. Sidebar. What's the lowest? What's the lowest you can go? We had this conversation, so I'm really curious to know your number. What's the lowest you can go?
40, 43, 45.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, how about this? Dating women with a bunch of kids. Fair or foul? Little kids.
Fair.
Okay.
I have a bunch of kids.
Okay. I'm talking about little kids.
Go see in her 40s.
Well, this is the thing. So, the reason why I say this is because...
It's fair.
Yeah.
It's fair because I have a bunch of kids. It wouldn't matter if she had or didn't.
Yeah.
This is the standard right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know guys who will not date women who have little kids because they interpret you having little kids meaning that you still deal with the father.
Oh, you talking about little. It wouldn't bother me, like you said.
Okay.
No.
Fair.
I mean, you dating a woman in her 40s, I assume that she's probably going to have kids.
Okay.
I mean, the average person will have kids. Yeah. I'm not how many. Yeah. I assume that.
I know you can. Everybody different. So, how about this? Dating outside your race. Fair or foul?
We just think that's fair.
Fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How about dating a woman that smokes cigarettes? Fair or foul?
Wow.
Hey, you like me. I ain't going to lie, man. I've turned down women absolutely attractive when I back in the day in undergrad and I found out she smoked I'm like, that was just a no-go for me. You have some things that just non-negotiable, and cigarette smoking is a non-negotiable for me.
What about women who smoke Black and Milds?
If she smokes cigarettes, I'm not going to knock her for smoking cigarettes, but I'm not going to date her.
Exactly.
Okay. How about dating a woman that smokes Black and Milds?
I'm not going to date her.
All right.
I'm with you on that. That'll throw me the hell no, man.
Black and Mild. You know better.
Come on.
Better. Wow. Oh no. Wow.
Ain't it? Hell no.
Now I got a question. You brought up the game, so who you got? OKC or the Pacers?
I didn't bring that up. I just brought up the game. Y'all tricking me right now. Whoever wins the game, we're gonna say it like that. Whoever wins.
What?
Oh, so you don't got a favorite?
No, you know what? I'm liking the Pacers. I really am. I'm liking the young squad, and OKC's youngest, but I'm liking that young squad and how they're running the game. So I'm gonna say Pacers.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm rooting for the Pacers.
Game, but I'm gonna say Pacers.
I'm rooting for the Pacers, but I did pick OKC before the playoffs started. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think the Pacers would get this far. I thought it would have been, before Jason Tatum got hurt. I thought the Celtics may have done something. But yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at it overall.
Yeah, I did too.
That made a big difference.
Yeah.
Tatum getting hurt a second time. That made the biggest difference.
Yeah.
It did.
He got injured earlier
Yeah, exactly.
And then when he re-injured it, that took him out completely.
Completely.
So if he didn't get re-injured, I think they would have been there.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool, man. This has been great, man. I'm glad we finally were able to get you on the show, man. I see you representing the Cigar Junkies hoodie. He's been a huge supporter of Cigar Junkie, so I appreciate you for that. From the onset, he was a huge supporter of the brand. So he got the Mac bag.
Yeah, I love his bag.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. I love the pink bag. I really do. I have a purple one, but I really do love the pink one.
Yes.
I do.
Yeah,
I do. And you can get a lot of stuff in those bags. I'm amazed at how much I can stuff in that bag. I'm not gonna even lie. I'm amazed how much I can stuff in my bag.
Yeah. So yeah, man, this has been good.
Yes, it has.
I'm gonna slide out there probably in the next couple weeks and get up with you at the lounge and have a proper smoke with you and a proper drink. And we go from there, man. But it's been good, man, having you on the show, man.
Definitely need to have you back, especially around cigar week time and all that. Because I feel like there's still some education that needs to be had about cigars and what that lifestyle really, truly looks like, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
I really do.
I appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you, man.
And again, you say in education, I'm just talking about sharing the love.
That too.
I don't think of it as education sense. I'm just sharing love.
Well, I appreciate that.
All right.
I appreciate that. Well, you enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
Yes.
I appreciate this.
Peace. I appreciate you, man. All right. Be easy, man. Have a good day.
Be easy.
All right.
All right. All right. Well, we out of here. Subscribe. Continue to like all of those different things.
Yep.
And peace out.
Peace out. In a minute.
Peace out.